a common agenda in this Asia-Pacific region, so that all the political party and all the government should adopt that resolution and make the make a law in their country. So I think that is the very good opportunity for the women to empower and enhance the women leadership in all the political, social, and economic sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have taken a note of this valuable intervention. As we are running short on time, I would like to request Honorable State Minister of Finance, Dr. Aisha Gospaisha, to give her keynote remarks. And I would like to thank all of you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum to all, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very good session for me. I've been sitting here and listening to a very important topic, women at the center of development agenda. And the presentations were very good, and the honorable colleagues from the Asia-Pacific region, your interventions were also, and suggestions, extremely good. And I think this is what the purpose of this kind of an exercise, whereby we can learn from each other's experiences and learn lessons from each other and improve our own structures. Actually, women make up a significant proportion of any society, and achieving the SDGs will depend on gender inequality and women's empowerment. A women's effective participation in the development agenda and their presence in leadership roles have the potential to increase productivity and build more sustainable systems. We acknowledge that women play an important role in the nation's development agenda. And we acknowledge that, that governments have recently made an effort to promote gender equality in almost all spheres of life, be it labor markets, be it politics, be it development, and so on and so forth. Actually, I remember lately going through a study done by McKinsey, the consultants, in which they pointed out if women folk in Asia-Pacific region fully participate in the labor force and are active, the gross domestic product or the income of this region can be 25% higher. This is what we mean to our region. If we get involved and if we are actively participating and we are equally treated like the men folk in our countries, our combined incomes of the region will be 25% higher. This is not insignificant by any stretch of imagination. So the point that I'm trying to make here, that the countries cannot really move forward, even in terms of economically developing themselves, until and unless women play a pivotal role and a central role in coming forward and contributing to that economic development. So this is the message of today. This is the message that we hear from our friends from across the region, and this is also a message that people in Pakistan are hearing. And what is very encouraging for me, even though at this point of time Pakistan may not be very high up in the Gender Development Index or the Gender Equality Index internationally, where our ranking is very low, but the trend is on the up. We increasingly see Pakistani women coming into territories, in fields, in areas which are new, which are traditionally so-called men-dominated areas, and we see them coming. We see women pilots, we see women economists, we see women doctors and teachers. We've always seen them. There is no field, and of course, in today's forum, we see women politicians coming up. The important part is not just that you give them, through affirmative action, an opportunity. This is just the first step on the ladder. The important part is that you have the legal framework which will promote and strengthen their participation. There are many countries where there are wage discriminations on the basis of gender, Pakistan being one of them. We have to come up with the right kind of legislation so that these kinds of discriminations are done away with, are declared illegal and cannot be practiced. Setting the legal framework is just one step on the ladder. Creating the environment which will motivate women to come and participate in the labor force is the second important step. You have to make them feel safe while participating in the labor force and working. This is of absolute importance because, see, in a country like Pakistan where women are so, I can't tell you, I've been a professor for the most of my life. Girl students are so bright, so doing well. But what happens is that after graduating, they sit at homes, they make homes, they do not participate in the labor force. And at one stage when I joined the Provincial Assembly of Punjab in the last tenure, one of the first meetings that I attended was when the decision was taken that we should have quotas of women admission in medical colleges because they take admission, they graduate with very good marks and they sit at home. So we should ban or put restriction on their becoming doctors. This is not the world we want to operate in. We want to operate in the world where women come forward and they are motivated to participate fully in the labor force and seek employment even in remote areas. Our way forward is not to put them back in the home. Our way by pulling them out of the colleges, our way forward is to take them forward and create that conducive environment which will motivate them to go and work. This is what I think we should learn from each other, and some of the countries who have shared the experiences are bringing this up very nicely, how we need to do this. Financial inclusion is one other area where we need to strive together and come up with. Women have to become part of the formal financial sector. At this point of time, what we see is that the numbers in some of the countries are very low, including that of Pakistan, where the women getting access to formal credit, a very small percentage gets access to formal credit. These are barriers that we have to break. And I think we can do it. The women have it. We just need to create that kind of an environment. Having women in decision-making positions is very important. You need to bring in a culture in which women-sensitive decisions are taken, in which that environment that is essential for women to participate fully, and for the men folk to let their women participate in that environment is very important as well. So I think these are some of the areas that should continue to be on our agenda. We as parliamentarians in our respective countries can make a major difference, not only by making the right kinds of laws, but also ensuring that those laws are implemented and providing the oversight so that we can see if the implementations of those laws are taken care of and they are fully administered and fully adhered to. This is a very major assignment, and I think we women parliamentarians have a big load on our shoulders to take the women, which constitute something like, in our region, something like 60% of Asia-Pacific population. It is our responsibility to bring them out and take them forward. And I think we as parliamentarians owe it to our respective countries and to our region. Let's learn from each other. Let's break the glass ceilings. We can. We have shown that we can, and inshallah we will. With that positive note and good message, I thank you all.
Okay. Thank you, Madam, for your good speech. Actually, we will get a hope to have a change about the ladies' life, education, and promotion the health of the children under 5 years in future. We have to bring the belief in our culture and in our also behavior about that all the authority of our countries through the parliament and the government must believe if we wanted to change, the change is going to start it from the home. And the center of the home is the ladies. Then they are making they are educating the children for our future. We have to try as much as possible to be aware about the education of our children, especially our daughters, and see nowadays in your country with this flood, you must be, after a few months, malaria will get rise. Another disease like diarrhea, cholera, all these things. Then as this time we have to be prepared for that. Then it needs attention about these things. Anyway, from our side, Iran, as your neighbor, ready for cooperation about this problem in near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lunch is now being served in the banquet hall. And once again, I would like to thank all the participants for their valuable time. Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad.
Women constitute 48.5% of our population, yet they are 14 times more likely than men to suffer during natural disasters. The ongoing climate catastrophe in Pakistan has left women worse off. It's harder for women, for widows, for orphans. 18-year-old Rubina, who is 7 months pregnant, hasn't received proper food for 2 weeks. Mubina's husband, who she says destitute women are reeling from the record floods. Gender-based violence shall rise. Many million girls may never return to schools. Locked toilets, a lack of sanitary items, access to clean water, bathrooms, and 2 meals a day have become a luxury. Women's lives right now are a grab bag of uncertainties. Women's well-being, health, and dignity are at stake. Without external aid, they cannot rebuild, they cannot survive, let alone thrive.
Recording stopped.